Hey everybody, Allie Bloyd here, and if you're wondering what metric benchmarks you should be trying to hit for your online advertising, this is a great video for you. Today, we are going to work on reverse engineering our ad spend based on the return on investment we want to make and based on hitting those specific benchmarks. So I'm going to be walking you through a really cool spreadsheet today. I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss anything. Let's dive in. I just wanted to walk you through a really cool way to reverse engineer your ad spend based on what it is you actually want to make, as well as kind of talk you through some of those benchmarks that you're looking for at each stage. So this is my reverse engineering advertising budget worksheet. This is something that the students in my mentorship program get access to, and it comes with a lot of additional tabs down here for tracking either your ads and your sales, but this is a really good first step for them to fill out. So we start over here by looking at the ad spend. So this is a daily ad spend recommendation. It doesn't mean you have to spend that when you first get started, but it shows you if you want to make X amount, this is what you need to be spending per day to make that happen. So the numbers in red are the only thing that you actually need to fill out. Everything else is going to auto-calculate. So we start here with the cost per thousand. A cost per thousand, or CPM, is going to tell you how much does it cost to reach 1,000 people. So this number can vary depending on the size of your audience. Sometimes your warm audience is going to be a higher CPM because it's a smaller audience, but on average, you can really get away with up to a $40 cost per thousand. However, we'll take a look at what it looks like if that CPM decreases, which is ultimately what you want. This is also based on a minimum 1% click-through rate, a 30% landing page conversion rate, an 11% call conversion rate, a 70% show-up rate, and a 20% close rate. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in the value of your sale. So let's go ahead and plug in $8,000 as the value of our sale. Now you can see that this updated not very much. So if I go back, then we're at 892. We've got 8,000. And so all that is updating from that number is our return on ad spend. That's obviously going to change based on the amount of money that you're generating for an average sale. Now we're going to look at this cost per thousand. So I'm going to decrease this CPM to $30. Pay attention to the numbers in black. So some of those are going to change. And this ad spend went from $892 to $669 just by decreasing my CPM by $10. So this really shows you the power of tweaking specific numbers. Numbers like CPM are one that a lot of people ignore, but it can be very powerful in terms of what you're making, because the cheaper it is for you to reach 1,000 people, if all of your numbers remain consistent, you're simply reaching more people, which gives you more opportunities for leads, more opportunities for bookings, and more opportunities for sales. So it's showing us that on a $669 ad spend, we're going to get 22,300 impressions. And with a 1% click-through rate, it's going to be 223 clicks, which gives us a cost per click of $3. Now let's take this to 1.2 and see what happens. So now we're going to a $2 cost per click. We're able to get more leads, and ultimately our return on ad spend has increased and our daily required ad spend has decreased as well. Now let's look at the landing page conversions. Some people, they are operating with like a pretty low 10% landing page conversion. So if I plug that in, now you can see that my ad spend went from less than $600 to $1,600. This is a huge thing to focus on. So this really allows you to see exactly which numbers are playing a major role in your return on investment. It also decreased my return on ad spend because I'm having to spend more to get one sale. So again, let's take this back up to 30%. And again, I'm at $557 a day with a 74.43 return on ad spend. So our cost per lead also went down to $8. When we started, it was at $13. So that was just by decreasing my CPM $10, increasing my click-through rate by 0.2, and then this number was as it was originally. So these two tweaks alone took me from a $13 cost per lead to an $8 cost per lead. Now, how many of those leads schedule calls? So if I'm at an 11% call conversion rate or 10.5, let's see what happens when I take that up to 15. Okay. Now I'm at $392 ad spend to make 7,608. This is a very, very powerful number. Call show up rate. We are going to take this from 70% to 80%. Now we're at $500 with 75. So this is always a great number because the higher your show up rate, the more opportunities you have to sell. Now let's look at our call close rate. We'll take that from 20% to 30%. And now we're at $332 daily ad spend with a 7,668 return on ad spend. This is all based on how much money do you need to spend to make a sale. So all of these numbers are working in conjunction together. Most people are focused on the numbers on the top, such as what's my cost per lead, what's my cost per click, what's my cost per schedule. The problem is they're not focused on the numbers that will actually take those numbers down. So if they say my cost per lead is $10, well, okay, what will it take to get your cost per lead to $8? And how will that impact overall what you were able to make in terms of return on investment? So 20% call close rate is average. So is 70% show up rate. Call conversion rate 10%, 30%. We'll drop this back down to our 1% and our 30% CPM. So these are really the numbers you should be shooting for to hit the traditional benchmarks. That would put me at about $700 per day ad spend to make a return of $7,301 back, and that would allow me to make one sale. The problem is that doesn't mean that I spend $700 and tomorrow I make that sale. You have to take into account the length of your buying cycle to really be able to see this through. However, that's what a lot of the tabs at the bottom here that we're not going to go over, that's what those will allow you to see and focus on and improve over time. So if you are not yet reverse engineering your ad spend based on what it is you want to make and focusing on the numbers to improve that will allow you to get there, this would be a great opportunity to start doing that. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Make sure to like it, save it so you can revisit this later, comment if you have questions, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss anything new.